Hey guys, it's Steve from Asian Boss. One of our Korean viewers asked us this question. 삼성과 애플 중에 외국 사람들은 어느 회사 핸드폰을 더 선호하는가 궁금해요. We thought this was an interesting question because while there are a lot of people doing all sorts of product reviews online comparing phones, what no one really seems to be talking about is the brand perception behind these two products. Well, that's exactly what we're going to find out from people today. Let's take a look. What kind of phone do you guys use?
An iPhone 5.
And I have an iPhone 4S.
I have a Samsung. Same. iPhone 4.
You got an iPhone?
I have a Samsung Galaxy S4.
An Apple iPhone 6.
Samsung Galaxy Note 3. What's the 4, the new one?
Right. What about you?
I actually have an LG Nexus 5.
iPhone.
Samsung.
I recently bought an iPhone 6 Plus.
An iPhone. I've got an iPhone 4.
I'm currently using Samsung S4 Mini.
And why did you choose that phone, let's say, over an Apple phone?
Just because it was cheaper, I would have preferred to get the iPhone.
I got it as a present, and so I got to choose it, but I thought an iPhone was a bit expensive, so...
I've used both. I find Apple overpriced for what it is. And Samsung I find pretty good. Android, I love Android. I develop apps, so I love Android for the open nature of Android. But I think Samsung is creeping up into Apple territory in price and a little bit of arrogance too.
I've had friends who have had Samsungs and they're not as good as Apple. Battery life and the apps and stuff like that. And I've just always had iPhones. So.
Well, I used to have a Samsung, and then because I had to renew my phone, I tried Apple, just to something different, and it's much better. Just enjoy it much better.
Is that right?
Better functionality, better photos too.
But everyone that I've known that's had a Samsung has switched over to Apple.
Is there any particular reason why you decide to go with Apple as opposed to Samsung?
My first iPhone was actually I bought in Brazil, and it was the only phone that it had medical apps. I'm a doctor, so it was very convenient for me. Unfortunately, all my other devices, my computer, I have Apple TV at home, so everything makes more sense just to change to an iPhone as well.
Which company then, between Apple or Samsung, do you perceive to be leading in innovation?
I would say
Apple, 100%.
Yeah, easier.
For me, I think companies like Samsung, the Android, Google, things like that, I think they're actually working off the back of Apple's good work.
Which brand do you perceive to be more innovative?
Apple.
Samsung.
Oh, definitely Apple. I think Steve Jobs is a really innovative person, and I don't really know too much about Samsung, so I can't really compare the two that much, but I definitely love Apple. I think it's a great product.
Apple, because Apple...
Not even you.
Yeah.
But you own Samsung.
Yeah, I know, but
Apple is always the first one who innovates.
I have the feeling that sometimes Apple is the first and then everybody is like a copy of it. Sometimes the copy is better than Apple, but...
Nowadays, maybe the copy is better, but...
Yeah, the copy is better, but Apple is the first,
Apple by far, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. I think as far as letting us know that they're being innovative, I think Apple's sort of telling us, but I'm not sure what Samsung's doing.
iPhone's just, it's the leader really. You've got to be with it.
Both of the companies would like us to think that they are leaders. And I think Apple is more loud about advertising about their innovations.
Do you think Samsung copies Apple more or Apple copies Samsung more?
I think Samsung copies Apple, but that's just my perception of things. It might not be real.
I think maybe Samsung copies Apple more.
I reckon Samsung copies Apple more.
Why, Liv? Why?
I don't know. You don't.
The general population, they probably think Apple comes out with and then Samsung makes it better, essentially.
I think the general public thinks that Apple are the innovators and Samsung are the Me Too people.
Yeah.
And do you agree with that sentiment or not really necessarily?
Not really. I think Apple sometimes can make it look better, but Samsung do it first.
It's hard to say. Have Samsung released a watch recently as well?
Samsung actually released a smartwatch last year.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
Apple's the leader and then Samsung kind of follows. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a Samsung watch soon.
I think it already is out. I think it got released last year, but people don't know about it.
I didn't know.
If you had to take a guess, which country is Samsung from?
China? Is it? I don't know.
It's actually a Korean company, but
Really? I didn't know that.
There still exists the stereotype that Asian companies in general tend to be very good at copying but making things better. Most people we interviewed thought that Apple is more innovative of the two companies, and Samsung had the perception of following the trend. Having said that, most people agree that Samsung still made great phones. Well, what do you guys think? Let the debate begin. Make sure you subscribe to our channel and see you next time.